The violet-crowned Athens of legend was in flames. It no longer existed as a Greek city. How, the Athenians lamented, could their vibrant democracy simply end like this, emptied of its citizens, occupied by the Persian king Xerxes, and now torched? How had the centuries-old polis of Theseus and Solon, with its majestic Acropolis, now in just a few September days been overwhelmed by tens of thousands of Persian marauders, enemies that the Athenians had slaughtered just 10 years earlier at Marathon? News had come suddenly this late summer to the once hopeful Athenians that the last-ditch Hellenic defense, 85 miles away at the pass of Thermopylae, the final gateway from the north into Greece, had evaporated. A Spartan king was dead. There were no Greek land forces left to block the rapid advance of the more than 250,000 Persian sailors and infantry southward into central Greece. The Greek fleet at Artemisium was fleeing southward to Athens and the Peloponnese. Far more numerous Persian warships followed in hot pursuit. Nearly all of the northern Greek city-states, including the important nearby city of Thebes, had joined the enemy. Now the residents of a defenseless Athens, on a desperate motion in the assembly of their firebrand Admiral Themistocles, faced only bad and worse choices and scrambled in panic to abandon their centuries-old city to King Xerxes. Desperate Athenians rowed in boats over to the nearby islands or the northern coast of the Peloponnese. Anyone who stayed behind in the lost city would meet the fate of the Spartans and Thespians at Thermopylae, killed to the last man. It was as if the great Athenian infantry victory at Marathon that turned back the first Persian invasion a decade earlier had never occurred. Like the French who lost their country in May 1940 to the Germans, despite the valor of Verdun a generation earlier. All of Greece was to be the westernmost satrapy of an angry Xerxes ascendant Persia that now, for the first time, incorporated European land into its empire. Athens, and everything north of it, was already Persian. The war seemed, for practical purposes, almost over, with only some mopping up of the crippled and squabbling Greek fleet at Salamis. The ensuing mass flight of Athenians was a landmark moment in the history of Greece. Centuries later, the Roman-era biographer Plutarch, who in his own times could not conceive of Asians in Europe other than Europeans controlling Asia, summed up the Athenian panic and the decision to forego a last glorious land battle with a brief obituary: "The whole city of Athens had gone out to sea." But what exactly did that mean? Could a Greek polis, traditionally defined concretely by its locale, monuments, and landed patrimony, survive in name only without a home?